one of the most fascinating things about communication is that it's inherited. So language, we didn't create it, right? So these very words that I'm using right now, that you're understanding, neither of us, none of us created this. It was passed down. Language is a cultural phenomenon that comes from generations. So all of us have been given this tool. We didn't make it. But what that means is that it's shaped. We get a tool that's been shaped already. It's been shaped by previous generations, by society, by our family, by our culture, by the particular time we grew up in. So this aspect of human experience that's so core to our well-being, our success, our happiness in life, we didn't choose it, right? It was kind of implanted in us. And together with that comes all of the various habits and patterns and ideas and beliefs and views of whatever kind of social location we grew up in, whatever kind of religious community we maybe grew up in, or our family culture, the society we grew up in. So all of that gets filtered into our mind and our consciousness, and then becomes, to a large degree, how we interpret and experience not only the world, but ourselves. The communication is also incredibly complex. You know, one of the great benefits and gifts of mindfulness is that it starts to remove some of the veils of things seeming ordinary in day-to-day life. We start to actually see a little bit more of what's going on. You know, how many of you in your mindfulness practice have experienced the breath differently than you thought it was before you started practicing mindfulness, maybe? Raise your hand. You noticed something different about it. You're like, oh wow, that's interesting. I never noticed that. Or noticed something different about the experience of your body from the inside rather than just this body as a visual image. Raise your hand if that's been the case for you. Yeah. So the same thing with communication. When we bring some mindfulness, when we bring some clear, balanced awareness to the process of communication, we start to see, wow, there's a lot going on here, right? There's not just the words that we're saying. There's the impulses and motivations that we're carrying. There's our emotions. There's our history. There's the judgments and perceptions and thoughts that are happening in our mind that we're not sharing. There's all of our conditioning and expectations, our desires and hopes and dreams, our pressures. There's how we slept last night and the argument or the wonderful conversation we had with our spouse or our roommate before we left home in the morning. Right? All of that's conditioning. The moment when you sit down with your coworker to talk about the project, or you walk into your supervisor's office to have a meeting, right? All those things are present to some degree in oneself and in the other person, right? So you put all that together, it's amazing that we actually get through anything. It's important for me to acknowledge that precisely because our conversations are co-created, it's dependent on both of us, that means that if we change how we're relating, we can start to shift the dynamic. Right? We can affect the conditions to hopefully have a more meaningful conversation. And yet at the same time, because it's co-created, that means we don't control all of the conditions. And sometimes, even with a lot of training and the best skills and really, really wholehearted, genuine intentions, we're still unable to work things out. And that doesn't mean that we failed. It just means that the conditions weren't present. What we start to learn over time by using these tools is that the success is not in the outcome. It's in the quality of integrity that we have in how we show up. You know, are we living in line with our values so that we don't have regrets?